A lot of media consumption is about relatability. I'm right, yeah? It could be active relatability, like, wow, cool character, he just like me, for real, for real. Or passively making conversation filler for the future. Unless you're watching for watching's sake, which I guess beats scrolling your feed. So stop doing that. Have you seen your screen time? All of that to say, you are definitely not Haruhi Suzumiya, the titular character of the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. A girl who had one beginning life crisis at a baseball game, she must have been a Mariners fan, heyo, and decided she can't lead an ordinary, relatable life. Oh, you met a really funny classmate, you had a nice trip with your parents, you robbed a bank. If someone's done it before, then that, it means it's a less valuable experience, of course. Novel equals superior. Her subjective feeling is, in fact, objective truth. Haruhi will become the least relatable person in the classroom, the supermarket, that baseball field, the world!
But doesn't that sound a little unhealthy?
Hey man, he who hasn't sinned, you know? She wouldn't wait for things to happen, so she set out to become that person throughout middle school. And middle school happens and it doesn't exactly pan out. She's not unrelatable enough, merely that weird girl in middle school who did a crop circle in a schoolyard once. It's not enough for a wiki page. Imagine not having a wiki page of yourself by middle school. Alexander the Great judges you. Beginning high school, Haruhi starts a club to finally accomplish her goal. We can't wait for things to happen to us after all. And that part is actually healthy. Like, don't look at my screen time, please. God, how many experiences could that have been instead? Fuck. Now, what has no one ever experienced before? Oh, what if there were aliens in our club? A time traveler also, that would be sick. Oh, and also, an Esper, like PK Thunder. Pwah! Would you believe it if one of each actually joined a club secretly to observe her and her powers? She wouldn't. Bumping into interesting people, just like that? It wouldn't be that easy. It's not that like no. Thing is, everybody is interesting. Rather, everybody has a different personality. When I said you're not Haruhi Suzumiya, that's still true. You probably don't have her abilities to... Well, I'll get to that. But you may have a personality like Haruhi, according to the Big Five. In psychology, the Big Five personality model, or five-factor model, is the best thing we've got for translating that abstract thing, personality, into 5 continuous scales. These numbers are just conduits for understanding. Mind you, they're not the ultimate truth of the world. Neuroticism. How likely and intensely do you feel negative emotions? There's spooky correlations to mental health, but it can predict proactivity. Some people worry too much about too much. Some people should be worried about the fire in their house. Different dilemmas. Openness for creativity, curiosity, and openness to new ideas. Conscientiousness. How good is your self-control? Your work ethic? Are you about the details or the big picture? Extroversion, which is often misunderstood. It's less about how good you are at talking to people and more about how stimulating a social interaction is to you. Agreeableness. Do you like to lend a hand? How important is getting along with others to you? Most people end up in the middle-ish of most of these factors. Makes sense. Most people are average-ish height, normal distribution and all. Now, normally, you wouldn't bother putting the Big Five to fictional characters, cause, well, they're not that deep. Or they're inconsistently portrayed over time. If you want to do this with fiction, look into the Myers-Briggs. It's got more narrow applications, and its binary classification is nice and simple for nice and simple characters. Haruhi is a complex character though. I think we can track some correlations to see what kind of person she is on her quest for fun. Speaking of fun, it's actually not well researched. How could that be? This basic concept happens a lot in research. Did you know that research on narcissism personality disorder is really weak? The thing that everyone knows? Anyways, doesn't help that fun's complicated. One person's fun is another person's stress. I did find one paper that shows correlations between different types of funds, different scores on the Big Five factors. I think some of these are close to Haruhi. Maybe they're close to you or someone you know. It notes that neurotics are more likely to associate fun with other people. That beginning life crisis was Haruhi thinking, I gotta meet the most interesting people, which to her are people out of a sci-fi. Maybe never before encountered phenomena doesn't interest you. Notice as these things are person to person and not objective. Also, Haruhi feels things out so strongly that one time the world almost got deleted. It got better, we're all good now. High openness is an appreciation for art, emotion, adventure, and unusual ideas, like aliens. They're more likely to hold unconventional beliefs, like time travelers. That part is definitely Haruhi. But the study noted that high openness people don't usually put much priority in fun people. And again, that was her beginning life crisis. I think she's mildly high on the spectrum. Conscientiousness, oh geez. Haruhi's gotta be on the lower end. Highly stubborn, but also spontaneous. There's negative correlation with fun people, and that would suggest a low score on top of risk taking, but she's also certain everything will work out, so does she ever feel like she's taking a risk? I don't know. Extroversion, oh yeah, high. Just look at this clip.
Who's gonna be entering this little sandlot baseball game?
You've got to be kidding! Us, of course!
Thank you, clip. Agreeableness, her social harmony is a
photographic evidence of blatant sexual harassment.
It indicates
If you don't want any of these pics to show up all over campus, hand over a computer.
Once in a blue moon, she goes out of her way for her friends. But if you put her self-interest on one scale and getting on with others on the other scale, that first scale is so heavy, it's pierced the floor, the earth, orbit, it's gone. Agreeable people see fun people and money as unimportant, and we know how Haruhi feels about those because I told you. Also, she likes money.
Oh, and money! Bring money!
She has low agreeableness for sure, but she does have someone that she trusts like there's no tomorrow. That someone's Kion, an agreeable lad, not too neurotic, and otherwise average guy. The prototypical sarcastic main character could. Maybe you know a Haruhi who's ringleading a whole group and it feels like the whole universe revolves around her? Or maybe you know a Kion. Kion is a protagonist who knows such a Haruhi. This Haruhi, the Haruhi of this video. He's the one who oopsie-daisy accidentally encourages Haruhi to start the club, then proceeds to go, that dang Haruhi always getting us into, oh jeez, that's gonna hurt the economy. For as much as Kion complains along the way, usually valid, he still holds dear this clown car of a club. Haruhi especially. He's not a revolutionary character anymore, but his archetype was influential to light novels, manga, and anime with how big the show got. It was the right time and place deal. The last original trope was made by some ancient Greek named Philosophocles in 1500 BC. By the time the show wrapped up in 2009, it nonetheless left its mark. 2009. Was the world simpler then, or did I just not know where taxes were yet? The anime fandom was small compared to now. It was a tail end of when the community was so tight-knit that you could assume another fan also watched most of what was out, like Elfen Lied. And they also had some feelings like Elfen Lied is pseudo-deep and sucks. But the passage of time, you know? Was the world simpler then, or did I just not know where taxes were yet? Speaking of time, the club spends a summer break doing just about everything. Haruhi finished her summer homework by herself immediately because she is big brain, so that she could maximize the rest of her break. They went to the pool, batting cage, summer festival, fireworks, and had a cicada catching contest. Haruhi wouldn't have accomplished that if she spent her summer scrolling her phone. Seriously, I said stop doing that. So last day Haruhi sees the group at a cafe. She's all, yeah, that was nice, but I like, what if one more thing? Just one. Just about everything doesn't feel enough. What? Nothing's coming. If she could redo the vacation, maybe she would have, but it's not like time loops are a thing. Just about everything doesn't feel enough. Well, maybe what if... No, nothing's coming. If she could redo the vacation, maybe she would have. But it's not like time loops are a thing. Time loops are a thing. If you're Haruhi Suzumiya, which we aren't. Her fear of an unused moment brings us into the Endless 8. What is the Endless 8? If you take the number 8 and turn it to its side, you get an endless infinity. The Endless 8 is Haruhi's unconscious attempt to resolve that fear. She unconsciously set a time loop until she's totally satisfied with summer break. Worse yet, memories also mostly reset. Those tied with Haruhi do get deja vu sometimes, many such weirds in this story. Like Kion, who only vaguely remembers past loops, you two are left looking for clues, analyzing details. It's a Where's Waldo for the key of getting out. It can't take long. It's set Endless 8, so it's gotta be the original vacation and 7 loops. How many times could this have looped in between the first and second episodes?
This would be 15,498 times.
This arc was controversial in real time back in 2009 when we were still on forums and not just the few social medias like now. So especially when all of them go.
For real?
When Kyon wakes up in a second episode of this arc, and it's the same day. The big events are the same. The animation and voices aren't literally copy-pasted from the first episode. They're actually always unique. But they're not gonna do this for 8 whole episodes, right? Anime back then was usually one series of 14 episodes as a glorified advertisement for the manga. This actually got 2 seasons, and they're spending 2 episodes. They wouldn't. Now, according to the past, they did. I'm weird with finishing media. I get through them at such a glacier pace. In part because of how much I doom scroll in my free time. Seriously, so stop Wait, that's me. Hypocrite I am. A friend got me to watch the first episode, Invincible, which ends with a perfect hook. I wasn't even bothered. I just took 6 months to watch that second episode. I've left my bookshelf pile up way too much. I'll learn from Haruhi and just do things today, suboptimal as they may be. Starting with, that's good. Oh, jeez, let's go. So this, of all things, is what I didn't procrastinate on? Yes. That key to getting out is in the details. I got to appreciate the expression in liminal moments in ways I wouldn't have otherwise, like how Kyon was lounging at home the first day of each loop. He looks more exhausted this loop. Am I onto something? Maybe he's subconsciously feeling a little moody by this loop, and hey, so does this room's lighting from the TV. So that wasn't the key. I still was as engaged as I've been with the show. Like, I'm asking a magician, is it in this hand? Trying to figure out the magic in front of me. The club expresses a lot of subtle inconsistencies over the loops, which I love. That's how people are. It's hard to handle character inconsistency, so it feels intentional, organic, rather than the author choosing choreography over consistency. Was the character intentionally off for a moment to demonstrate their dimensionality, or was the integrity of the narrative compromised for a cool set piece? Here, it's the former. The loops are the
means by which all is revealed.
Yuki, the alien, joins the club strictly to observe Haruhi. She won't do anything to disrupt her command, and you'd be forgiven for mistaking her lack of expression for a lack of emotion. Each episode, she plainly states we're in time loop number blah, and in these 2 loops we did. Dude, this isn't getting to you? In each loop, Kyon asks a simple, hey, how are you holding up? Where Yuki plainly answers, fine, with a plain tone and face. One time, she slips. She still affirms tonally neutrally, but she can't hide the fatigue from her face. Like, girl, you're a lie. It's getting to her. You are seeing how this is a person that can handle a lot of stress, a lot of time loops, but does break eventually. If you missed it visually, the music spots you by glitching clickety-clackety like a bad VHS and a bassy boom bump, which is not normal in a soundtrack. She's glitching the music of the show. I don't think this helplessness would have resonated so well in the original 3-episode plan. There were some fans saying, but this isn't how long the light novel made this. Which, yeah, the show accidentally had 5 extra episode slots when they committed the material plan for 5 episodes for 1 movie. So now what? They already paid for the slots. They can't do take-backsies. Why not get experimental? I think a situation like this today would have probably have led to an adaptation of an unused arc, or something safer. Anime is a bigger industry now, and getting experimental has a lot more risk. I appreciate what came out of it. It took advantage of visual media in ways that light novels don't have the bandwidth for. Because nothing is ever copied between loops, a single narrative sequence is a wellspring for distinct experiences from the combo of different music, visual effects, voice directions, camera angles across loops for different experiences. Over the loops, the relationship between foreground and background elements start to shift like circle. Environmental storytelling is usually a background component communicating to the viewer under the layers of everything else going on. To use Limbe's company as an example, the super high-tech laboratory that was clean earlier is all rumble and bodies and blood, and this accentuates how bad the situation has gotten. Oh no. Its job isn't to be the center of attention. In Limbus, we're seeing the characters react to the new shabby state of an environment they're familiar with as they realize and piece together what happened. How could this have happened? It's processed, but it's not like, I am John Environment, you are actively perceiving me, only me. That shift circle is a yin-yang. Remember how I said usually earlier? You don't end up ignoring the foreground completely while stuck on a background, nor is the opposite true. By the 5th loop, I found myself going, okay, so we're at the festival again. Alright, now what? My attention went from the major beats to Yuki choosing different masks each time she was at the festival. In any one loop, it's an aside detail. Over the loops, the mask chosen changes. By the time your attention shifts, you're like, alien mask, yeah, she's an alien. That's a bug mask, that's a superhero mask. She's always choosing a different mask for some reason. Maybe to practice some autonomy, but still feeling powerless? Does she identify with those particular masks? What gives? Oh, maybe her orders are in conflict with an increasing sense of self. Oh, what if this has to do with future material? That's just one example of the elastic background-foreground dynamic. We go from realizing with Kyon that we're stuck in a time loop paying attention to the foreground details to a hee hoo hoo sort of irony, where now we have more information while the club, sans Haruhi and Yuki, realize, we're in a loop. Our perspective becomes aligned with Yuki, except, well, for us, it's the endless 8, not the forever 15,000. Oh god. The horror of the situation is existential in a way that most horror isn't, where that irony from experiencing with the character to watching the character not yet realize what we know, like they're in the same room as the Predator, or they're in the same Earth as Haruhi. Is Groundhog Day the best horror movie? What is narrative intention? The lighting and color tension always highlights and emphasizes whatever the mood of a scene is. The pool scenes in the first loop is fun, warming, relaxing. Repeat that a bunch, and what was initially a treat of bright colors is becoming a sunburn, and you can't escape. On the night the club always realizes their dilemma, the lighting on this soda can had me like, that's a weirdly well-detailed soda can in my cartoon. It's a very real, serious can, and the conversation has a similarly serious tone. And the lamppost casts an overbearing light over the not doing too well gang, like it's a net, and they can't get out of it. Like, of the light and of the situation. Look at the can. I literally logged this shot because I thought, wow, that's a nice soda can. Its personality reflects off of it. I am sane. Thumbs up emoji. Strife hooks the viewers with that same level of detail across everything the medium has to offer. Yuki's face is hidden on the last day the group is together in a cafe, otherwise well lit. You may start thinking, well, this could be Yuki feeling so burnt out that she's hiding from the frame, and dismiss it all. Nah, I'm getting ahead of myself. But then you remember in the future, I know that's not how time works. When Haruhi feels genuine shame for the first time, she hides her face from the frame. She achieved a power many desire to be unperceived. Then, the bigger details, like the intense mental episode Kyon experiences the last time he sees Haruhi in each loop. Audio, color, lighting, music, every element a thread in his tapestry of agony. So, okay, 8 episodes into the 8-episode time loop arc, loop go bye-bye now, right? What's Kyon doing to get out of this? He's focused so hard that his deja vu triggers like wom 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 wom. He sees Haruhi's across different timelines, outfits and all, striding towards the door of no tomorrow. He's not even hearing the audio distortions anymore, that's how much he's thinking. You ever agonize so much that color itself goes whoosh 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 whoosh? I haven't. Kyon, like a lot of people, doesn't like to do things if he's not sure it's the perfect solution that won't go wrong. Even though he knows he's always getting sent back to the past, he doesn't want to commit and make a mistake, because mistakes suck. But now he learns a magical lesson to just try something. Doesn't matter if it doesn't work, just try something. And that something is, hey, let's all do our summer homework together. I know you said you did yours already once before, but like I haven't done mine yet. I mean, maybe it'll be fun. And hey, look at that, it worked. The fun event that Haruhi never thought to propose. Kyon took 15-ish thousand times to propose this thing so simple. It's a staple in Persona games. Like, look here, they're taking turns goofing off. It's cute. But Haruhi's whole thing is meeting aliens, and homework's no fun, you may say, and you may also say, I've had friends over my house before, so that's not a universe first, and you're right. We can be weird like that, yeah? Among other things, let's remember Haruhi is an academic ace who always thought of homework as something to sweep away by herself quickly, like with a broom. Whoosh, whoosh. Hear me out. Even though her beginning life crisis started with worrying all, oh geez, I'm so relatable, she is still a person, and we're not perfectly consistent. Let alone doing homework with friends at her place, she may have not had friends over ever before. I don't think she had friends in middle school, which... this is a lot for her. These people mattered to her. The deja vu only happened to people that Haruhi felt close to. Koizumi, the Esper, that she doesn't know is an Esper, but feels close to because of their bond otherwise. Same with Yuki, the alien. She doesn't know is an alien, and Mikuru, the time traveler, you get it. Maybe this social moment was simply greater than her cerebral worldview. If someone told Haruhi, I've done homework with my friends before, so what? She might be like, it was special to me, damn it. We usually feel first and rationalize backwards like that. And Kyon, who is literally just a guy and is the closest to her, so what's up with that? I put that personality thing earlier because of my background in undergrad. I love talking about that stuff. Also, to give a fuller picture of who Haruhi is. A person with values different to me may be different to you. Her emphasis on fun people is greater than mine, and she associates reliability with mundanity. The thing that stresses me out enough to cause a time loop are probably different from hers. The Big Five is a great tool that can predict general behavior, but instance to instance, it won't predict a specific action or belief. The mind is complex. We've got different priorities and interests that can conflict while existing within us simultaneously. For Haruhi, it's novelty and companionship going on. I haven't read the light novels picking off from the anime, but I'd love to see Haruhi balance those two things. They're not mutually exclusive. They're not mutually inclusive either, though. The time loop, all the techniques of this arc show with a timeless grace. Our inconsistencies are part of being human as much as our consistencies. We're not some single state utility AI, all beep, beep, never deviate, always behave, consistently, blah, beep, beep. At the end of it, we're all different people with different ways we like to have things like fun. Please watch this and tell me you watched this because of me or for yourself. Please and thank you. Good morning, good night, bye.